This podcast, bussin'.
Welcome to this.podcast, the dopest podcast in Denver. I'm your friendly host, Jay, joined by my friends. We got Go.
Man, what we talking about?
And we got Uncle Damo.
Hi, my name is Uncle Damo.
You can catch this.podcast at linktree/this.podcast, and we'll meet you where you're at. Audio and video on YouTube. Shout out to the beautiful Lawrence and Larimer for providing the space. You can catch them at lawrenceandlarimer.com, or you can come down to the brick and mortar at 3225 East Colfax Avenue, and you can use the this.promo code. I don't know how much you get off these days, but I'm sure
hey,
you get
drop
something.
it every week, man.
He
Drop
does,
it every
man.
week. It's not like it's down to like 1% now.
It started at 10.
No, it started at 20.
It started at 20?
It started at 40.
It started at 40 when there was only 2 people watching?
Yeah. Hey, but real talk, though, they have some dope clothes out here.
They do.
Some dope shit.
You could get your Hoochie Daddy shorts. We're going to get into that later because we got a fashionista with us. I want to give a quick plug to my guy to my right for his coaching executive business, DamianWright.com. And he'll get you straight in the leadership coaching, any kind of coaching.
Get right coaching, that's what it's called.
Get right. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, get right coaching.
There you go. DamianWright.com. Check it out. Today, we got a special guest. We are excited about this because we've been having a lot of great content behind the scenes. I wish somebody was filming it, but we're going to put it on camera. This lovely lady has made a staple in Denver by way of Memphis, Tennessee. She is a woman of the culture, fashionista, and a renaissance. Let's welcome Joce Blake to the show.
Yes.
We're glad to have you.
Yes. Hey, real quick, Killer. There's somebody in the crowd that I got a bone to pick.
Come on,
I got a bone to pick.
I got a bone to pick. And the reason why I have a bone to pick
Get her together.
is she stalled us out the whole block party.
She did.
She had these stupid dope art pieces.
She's amazing.
Man, shit, like snowboards.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And she
still does.
I want her
gave
to
us-
make me one.
She's releasing some tomorrow, by the way.
she gave us a picture.
Okay.
She promised us to sit down. And we never got it.
Call her out.
I wonder who I'm nominating today.
Call her out.
So the question is, why didn't we get to sit down? Shakira, why didn't we get to sit down? Are you too Hollywood? No. Okay.
She wasn't too. It felt Hollywood a little bit.
It felt real Hollywood. I'm busy.
Little
I'm
bit.
busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy.
Now she came in here and she feeling the vibes. We're glad to have you.
Glad to have you.
Glad to have you.
Shakira.
But we're
Thank you.
gonna have to give you this drop real quick. You were supposed to come sit down with us at the block party, and
tell
you
us
didn't.
and tell us about all the dope shit you had.
We'll catch you on a later
she'll
episode.
just be on another episode. Period. No, this is our time.
Yeah.
Man, so talented.
Oh yeah. This is Josh's time.
Yes.
So Josh, let's get right into it. So we were talking a little bit about the block party.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
Correct.
Via Michelle Trell. Shout out to Michelle.
Michelle.
She was on the show last episode. And I want to tell the experience that we had with you.
Let's go.
So Michelle said, yes, you need to hook up with Josh so y'all can come to the block party because we think it'll be a dope concept, etc. You can shoot all this great content. And when we sat down and talked with you, like we didn't know what to expect because it was our first time shooting outside this space. So it was new. We were rookies. We didn't know how to approach anything.
Yeah.
As soon as we sat down with you, it was nothing but love. It was, what can I do to put y'all in the right position as far as, room angle, setup, you name it, you were there for us to succeed. And I just want to give you your flowers for that because you didn't even know who we were at that time. And you were just like,
But you was black, so I mean, you
That's
are
all.
black, not was.
You was.
You see that?
You was black. You was. You
are.
ain't black anymore.
Currently black.
This.podcast. You know, because of this.podcast, you're not black anymore.
You're not
Right,
black anymore,
right.
no.
What had happened was,
Yeah, I watched a few episodes and it was like, but no. I just wanted to give you flowers and another round of applause for that because you did not have to do that. You really
I feel
didn't.
like I did it, but thank you.
Yeah, so you opened arms at the Clayton and it was great. Let's talk about why you decided to do that and just dope things that you've been doing at the Clayton and Cherry Creek scene.
So, I feel like when I moved here, I moved here from Memphis in 2016, and I just felt like there were gaps that needed to be filled, and I was like, well, if I'm feeling like that, then other people are too, so let me be the one to fill the gap. Right. So with the block party, I was like, well, there's like black business markets all the time, but like not in Cherry Creek because Cherry Creek is white. So like, how can we take up space? And the Clayton has been so supportive, and they literally just let me do what I want to do. And I did an anti-racist class last June. They didn't ask me no questions. I could have been in there like, fuck these white people. But they were like, yeah, say what you want, do what you want. And I was like, okay, so can I do a block party? And they were like, yeah, what do you need? And literally that whole weekend, like, I did little to nothing. I was like, this is my vision, and they executed it, which I think is rare for those spaces to just be like, we trust your vision, we're gonna help you execute it. And I stayed there like in the hotel, which was really dope for me to just have like a luxury experience as a black woman, and putting on the event too. It was just like, wow, like we deserve all of this.
So they put you up. All you had to do was
I
come.
paid for my room.
Oh, got it. What?
They gave me
discount?
a free night though.
Okay.
They gave me a free night though.
But you stayed in the hotel, came down, did your thing.
Like even when I came to meet you, I came from my room, and like, so it was nice to not like be driving from Aurora to Cherry Creek, and like they sent like strawberries to my room and wine and like, because it was Valentine's Day weekend, right? So I was also doing like a self-love.
Okay, it's with yourself.
For
you shared them
myself.
with yourself.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So I got up after the block party, I put on some lingerie and a robe and ate my strawberries and drank my wine.
So I have a question for you. Did they have a big tub in there?
They did not have a tub. It was a nice shower though.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you made some bubbles in the tub.
No, if I would have had a tub, I definitely would have had a little bath bomb.
No, I'm talking about make bubbles in the tub.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Get a little too relaxing.
Oh, Lord.
That's all right. It happens sometimes. But yeah, so that whole experience was lovely because you gave me the walkthrough, and it was professional beginning to end. From the walkthrough all the way through the event, it's just the way you put on a party. It was dope.
Excellent.
It was dope.
Excellent, man.
Because you had a lot of vendors there. Like we were able to shoot down, and get like little 10-minute excerpts of content, and it just flowed beautifully. From Crystal Lee to Natalia King, Little Sisters Treats, yourself, L&L, of course, and the list goes on. And you showed a lot of love to those vendors. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I had to. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to come back.
Sure.
In February of next year and do it again. So y'all got to come back.
Yeah, we're there. We're there for sure.
Round 2.
We'll definitely be there.
So that's like my birthday weekend. So I'm like,
well, you don't even know what the weekend is, sir. I didn't say what weekend it was.
It was Valentine's weekend, right?
It was.
Oh, okay.
We can switch it up.
Yeah, you can switch it up.
We're going to have to switch it up.
So personal question for you.
Let's go.
Where does your name come from?
Joce. So my full name is Jocelyn. So I just shortened it.
Okay.
Joce. My grandma hijacked my birth certificate, so I don't actually know what my name means. But so I have 2 younger brothers. So I'm Jocelyn. Joshua is my middle brother, and Jerry is his
All
name.
J's.
All J's. And her name is June.
Okay.
So I was like, girl,
You had it out.
why you do that? My mama's name is Tangela. Hey, girl. Like,
What up, Tangela? How you doing?
Tangela?
How
We
you
see
doing?
She'll be here
Moms?
tomorrow or
Nice.
Sunday.
Stand up to Tangela, excuse me.
Yeah.
And a follow-up question to that is, you do a lot of great things in the city. What's your purpose?
I shouldn't have put no lashes on today. I think my purpose is I know it's showcasing the magic of Black people. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like my purpose is through my writing, through my events, through my guides, through everything. Is just like, when I first moved here, I was very much like, can I be my full Black self? Mm-hmm. And so I wrote for a very popular platform, and in those spaces I felt like I couldn't be. Like, this hair 6 years ago would have never happened, because I would have been like, oh, it's too much, they're gonna be trying to touch it, and I gotta like do the fight,
the kung fu,
of the white people touching my hair.
You gotta do the Karate Kid, like,
right. And like, can I talk the way I talk without them thinking a certain way about me?
So real quick, because I want you to continue on that, so tell the people like what you do for a career, because I think that's important to add of like your background and why you feel like this way.
So the gag is I have multiple lives.
Absolutely.
I actually moved here for my job at CU Anschutz. So I'm a communications manager.
There you go.
And nobody knows that that's my actual, like, that's my 9-to-5 job.
Got it.
Everybody thinks that I write full time because I write for so many people.
Yeah.
So I'm a writer, mostly about fashion and Black people. So I write for 5280, XO Nicole, Hello Beautiful, Cherry Creek Lifestyle, Boulder Lifestyle. There's a bunch of come on, air horn. Yes. She writes for everyone.
She writes.
And then, you know, I do some like Black feminism, where I started like the Black Girl Social Club here. I used to work for the Women of Denver. So just making sure people know, like, Black people are magic, and like, you don't deserve us, but here we are.
Let them know. So, so digging into that, Damo asked the question of like the purpose. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give the listeners that background. So now
for sure.
That purpose.
For sure. I think it's still just showcasing the magic of Black people.
And why is that so
Black
important
women.
to you?
I feel like Denver taught me that you can be made to feel like you don't matter. And like showing up as your full Black self can be too much for people, but that doesn't mean I learned to stop dimming my light to make other people feel better.
Sure.
Right? Like, my mom says it all the time. Fuck them white people. That's just what my mom says.
Yeah,
and it's very much like, I think that.
So moms gave you that confidence.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy because I don't think she realized how much she empowers me to be me. And it's weird because now I'm pouring that back into her because she's changing careers and she's like interacting with people who don't look like her, and she's needing that same like, fuck them white people. I'm like, remember when you said that?
Right.
That's the same. Like, you don't need them.
And when you say that phrase, it's like, you know, put all that stock, like, don't worry about what other people are saying, right?
Yeah.
So no matter who they are, like,
because it has to do with your hair, it has to do with your glasses, it has to do
my entire being,
with you head to toe, and how people accept you. So like, some people could think about that as being racist when you say that, but that's not. That's not the case.
I'm showing up.
It's you need to be authentic.
Absolutely.
I'm showing up
to yourself.
Yeah, and I think when you are minoritized, right? Like, we're all operating under white supremacy. That's a fact, right?
100%.
And so her saying that is like, they might be in control of a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you can't show up as your full self. It doesn't mean you can't, honor your ancestors with your hair or your glasses or your anything. Just like show up, and like, it's okay to just have that be it.
And I don't know when Damo
it was the
said
one
that
was released this one.
Okay,
with
yeah,
Marissa.
Damo said that exact same. He said it beautifully, and he just kind of mimicked exactly what you said, which is awesome. So, yeah, you on the ball. Because I think, especially for professional Blacks, for us, it's that's why I love the millennials, because like,
I'm a middle-aged millennial.
They don't give a fuck.
Damo and I, when we were growing up, it's like, not to say there was a good old boy system, but you had to play the game, right? Like, you had to go in there and you had to talk a certain way. You couldn't show your tattoos. You couldn't do those things, right? So, yeah, shout out to you.
And that's been I think my first 2 years here, that was my experience, right?
Right.
Like, I would walk into specific spaces, and if I wanted to write about something, a white person had to approve it, right? And I'm like, well, so how do I finesse this so that they understand it's still important to talk about this topic? Because I remember being, in rooms pitching stories, and at one point I was like, you know what? I just want everybody in the room to know that I want to write about Black people.
Got it. That's it.
So that's my purpose for them. Is like,
there you go.
I want to write about Black people. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because we don't always, our stories aren't always told. I think they're told more now, but that hasn't always been the case. And so I just want to continue to grow that.
You know, coming from Memphis and then transitioning to the University of Tennessee, did that kind of give you a little bit of a, did it prepare you for your move to Colorado?
So yes, I went to the University of Tennessee. Shout out to the Vols for life. I think it prepared me to code switch.
Ooh.
Like, I know that
gives me that makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, why?
Code switch. Ugh.
I know. Bleh. It's the worst, but I think it's reality.
Yeah. It is.
No.
It's not reality?
No. But go ahead. It's your show.
I think it is. In certain cases, it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think it goes back to what you talked about a long time, Damo. But when you do code switch, you're putting in an effort to do that, right? So I think it's just wasted effort where you can be your best self and you're worried about the wrong things.
Well, so I was saying the University of Tennessee, because it is a predominantly white institution, taught me to code switch.
Got it.
Right? And so then when I moved here, it was that same kind of feel, right? But then there was this moment, and I remember sitting in a room and feeling like, okay, Jocelyn, you can't continue to give pieces of yourself. You need to give all of yourself.
There you go.
And because if you don't show the magic of being a Black woman, then another Black woman is not going to feel empowered to do that. And the world won't see how magical you are if you're like only giving 10% of yourself.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to send you a clip after this that we talked about this on the episode that just released. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I feel you.
Yeah.
In other words.
Yeah. So and that's why I thank Denver, because I don't know if I would have learned that in Memphis, because I would have been surrounded by Black people.
Yes.
So where I was always myself.
Yeah.
But I think there's just layers to me now, because I have had all of these settings where I had to figure out how do I want to show up to serve me best. And like I learned too to like not be in places that don't serve me, because if they don't serve me, they don't deserve me.
Hey, we're like kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
No BS. I love the energy that you put into that. And then you talk about like the writing you've done. You talked about your profession beyond writing as well. Clearly, you got fashion. So
look at that.
My question is,
look at that fashion.
Do you put together fashion for big and tall?
Oh Lord.
Can you help my man out?
Lord.
Can you help me out?
Yo, like, how do you make hoochie daddies when you 300 plus?
You know, I'm not going to answer that.
Why not?
I can find you some. I can find you some for sure. And I know some dope designers that could custom make you some hoochie daddy shorts.
I want to go to Walmart and just buy some hoochie
So we're not
daddy
going to do that. We're not doing that. No shade to Walmart, but we're
Walmart
not
got
buying.
Champion.
We not buying hoochie daddy shorts from Walmart?
Got Champion.
No, they're not hoochie daddy if they're from Walmart.
What about DXL?
Got it.
What about what?
DXL.
Where are they, just short shorts?
No, does that still exist?
Absolutely.
Go
That's
hoochie
does.
daddy.
where I got these shorts from.
Your starter hoochie daddies.
If Damo goes XL, he can go hoochie daddy.
Oh no, those would be super tight. Those would be like boxer briefs.
Bro, hey, I would get like leg chains.
Boxer briefs on my man.
They have some ointment for that.
Hard pass.
No.
Hard pass. So I want to.
But let's get back to the fashion.
Going back to hard pass.
Some ointment.
If you got to use ointment, it ain't right.
That boy be doing this move.
Oh my God.
Tisha.
Got a slide in them things.
Tisha, can you pass me the ointment? That's my wife.
I figured
I'm
when the
going
way you
out.
said it.
I'm going out.
In terms of fashion,
Can you imagine if it was 90? I'm sorry, man. Like, if it was 90 with that ointment.
hey, it'd be like slip and slide.
Hey, man, shout out to the wives.
cooking.
The wives are supposed to put the ointment on for you, if you ask.
Hey, you ever cook with canola oil on high?
Yeah, that's
That
what
what's
it'd be.
gonna
That's what it would
happen?
be.
Pop, pop, pop.
Hey,
I'm
man,
sorry,
shout out-
Damo. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Oh, that was great. Like, we could have done that for like another 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dead ass.
So, Joce, your fashion sense, it's unique. Where did it come from?
Them black women in Memphis.
Okay. Tell us more.
Okay.
Tell us about people who've never been to Memphis.
Yeah, I just feel like there's something about black aunties. Like, black aunties have so much style. And I think you don't realize it until you grow up. And you realize, like, oh, I'm wearing these bamboo earrings like Auntie Jeannie did. Or I'm wearing, this hairstyle because Auntie Darlene did.
Yeah.
And even with my mom, like, I would watch my mom get dressed every day, no matter how she was feeling. And she would always say, you got to look better than you feel. And, that's how I show up. Like, I could be having a terrible day. But, like, that's probably when I look the best because I'm overcompensating for how I feel. So it's how do I look my best even when I don't feel my best? And I think, too, like, growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, like, that was the best time ever. Like,
it's a good time.
It was such a good time. We had Aaliyah. We had,
Tupac.
Wu-Tang. TLC. Like, I just feel like I had because I love me some Andre 3000. That's like the style.
But your style is like similar.
And I think the thing is so every time I get dressed, it's like, who am I going to be today?
Ooh.
Oh.
What am I going to give?
Okay, what are you giving today? What are you giving right now?
Today I'm giving African Princess.
Ooh.
Because it's June.
Let me hit the air
which for me, it's like Juneteenth is approaching. So every outfit is about to be like Juneteenth inspired.
I'm here.
Nice.
Let's celebrate all of this blackness. Yes.
So you got to tell me, like, the beads. What is that? Because it is beautiful.
Give us the rundown.
Yeah.
I actually borrowed it from a friend, so I can't tell you about it.
No, but how it came together.
But that's dope.
Yeah.
So my friend Koya, shout out to Koya, she actually does a lot of styling with African designers. And so she was wearing this piece when I did a photo shoot with her a couple years ago. And I actually did a photo shoot on Monday. And I was like, you know what? I really need that piece because it just gives royalty to me. And so when I was getting dressed, I was like, okay, I definitely want to wear that Grassfields top. This top is by Grassfields. It's a black owned brand. And then I was like, I wanted to wear everything black owned. So I was like, the top is black owned, the pants are black owned, the purse, the Telfeezy is black owned.
Telfeezy.
So I was just like, okay, you want to give African Princess with black owned brands. Boom. And I literally have visions for everything. So, like, I was at work earlier, and I was like, all right, Grassfields top and black bell bottoms. And then literally when I was getting dressed, I was like, where the necklace to, like, bring it all together. And the hair is just giving African royalty, period.
Not only that, but I got to let you know how you be styling with the glasses. Let them know about the frames because you got a lot of them, and they all dope.
I do, and I switch them up.
Yeah, you do switch them up.
And I was like, okay, today, I wanted to bring out the little cream in the top with the glasses. Shout out to Zelo. I don't get paid to talk about them, but they have really dope frames. Like, these frames were actually free because they messed up my other ones. Okay. The other ones were like $20.
Got it.
And I'm blind. So that's my thing. I'm like, if I'm going to be blind, I need to be cute.
Gotcha.
So
they look great.
You're going to see me.
You're going to see, and I'm going to be able to see you.
I'm going to see you. That's what I was going to say.
We see each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's dope how she said, you know what, I'm bringing queen vibes to this podcast because I'm sitting with some kings.
I'm sitting with some kings.
Yo,
so I might as well.
Have you talking to the mic, Cole.
Sorry. It's dope.
Well, no, I just want to make sure the people hear you. So.
Oh, you mind turning me up a little bit?
Yeah.
Turn me up. Turn him up.
Turn me up a little bit. So it's dope how she said, you know what? I had to bring my queen vibes because I'm sitting with some kings.
Period.
Yo, and that's dude. Yo, that's love. You know what I'm saying?
I love y'all.
I appreciate that.
I haven't received that yet. Yeah. I love y'all.
Let's go deeper. You came here.
Sound like my therapist. Damn. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He does. He gets deep.
Yeah, I tried. Like, I want to know. So you came here for a reason, and you're just not going to show up just because we asked you to come here. You said Charlie is one of your best friends, and you watched the show. So was that the catalyst for you showing up?
I think the catalyst was the block party.
Okay.
And Charlie.
And
Tater Tot Bot. And
I
love me some Courtney Langtot. Yes.
You watch it?
Yes, and I love those humans, and I'm like, if you're showcasing them, then we're aligned because those are my people.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So I can't not. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I'm tired. tired. But I was like,
tonight.
no, I gotta show up. I gotta show up
Appreciate
for them
that.
because y'all showed up for me, and like that's what we do for each other. And I feel like it's just such a beautiful experience to have, and it's a rare experience. Like nobody's really doing.
It's a dope experience. Keep going.
Turn you up? You trying to get turned
turn
up?
us up. Turn us up.
She turned it up.
You giving us some love.
No,
I'm
for real.
not gonna hold
I mean-
you. I'm gonna let you do it. Get it off.
And I will say, I think that y'all have something special here because
Tell us more.
there's. Don't worry, I am. There's so many podcasts with black men specifically, talking trash, and y'all come on here and you talk a little trash, but there's more like empowerment and like deeper stuff, to where it feels like a safe space,
Yeah.
and that's important because there
Appreciate
aren't
that.
a ton of safe spaces, especially for black women, and so that just means a lot to me.
Yeah. And do you mind if I lean into that, Jay?
Lean in.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So what is the safe space for a black woman?
Whew.
That is a great
Again,
question.
you're sounding like my therapist. All right, should I give you
That's what he
cocaine
does.
at the end of
That's what
this?
he does.
I am a coach, so
Listen, I think for me, safety is being able to peel back my layers,
sure.
right? And like talk about stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about with three people that I know, but like I don't know y'all.
Right.
But it feels like y'all are my brothers. And
Yes.
so I feel protected
Yes,
here.
you are.
Like I feel, and that's not something that happens a lot. I've had a lot of traumas in my life where I wasn't protected by black men specifically. Like my father wasn't there.
Sure.
I've had like tough relationships with my brothers and not the best like romantic relationships where I wasn't protected. And so to enter into spaces and immediately feel that protection is really good.
Yeah.
That's cool. And go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. So
Go ahead, Damo.
we're definitely going to protect you.
Sure.
And I think our track record proves that. And what is it about, like, tell us what's important about being protected by a black man.
What does that look like?
What does that look
Hi,
like?
my name is Uncle Damo.
Where you been, man? Where's this guy been?
It's
Yeah,
me.
you-
I'm bringing
you
out
think
the
so?
I'm bringing out the
Yeah.
best in my thing. He said we
yes,
kindred
yes.
spirits.
Yeah,
So
We
it's
are.
me.
I promise you we
Yeah.
are.
When he's on that Terramana, we don't get this.
No more Terramana.
No, yeah. I'm sorry.
With
I
those
think it
Sekis.
looks like authenticity, and it looks like reciprocity. Because I feel like black women give
A lot.
so much of themselves
They do.
to everyone all the time, and to be poured back into, I think is amazing. Because one of my favorite things to say is, what's in my cup is for me, what overflows is for everybody else. And I feel like black women are all empty a lot, and so to be protected, I think, is being refilled.
Yeah.
So I want
Jay,
to
do you mind? I'll close it out with this. Just one thing.
wait. Let me say something, man, because
Okay.
I've been letting you go.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, and I'll let you close it out. Is that all that is true, especially for black women, and then for this podcast specifically, right? Like we grew up in Denver. We have a lot of people that we got connections. We have network. The people that are most willing to come on the show are black women.
Yep.
Like outside of those that males come on, and if we know them, of course they'll show love. But those that don't even know us and just want to shoot us some love and just want to support,
Yeah,
a lot of that comes from black women. So
that's real shit.
yeah,
And we recognize dope shit, right? So
Yes.
no, absolutely.
saying?
Y'all
Absolutely
said
right.
trends.
we
And-
are the blueprint.
1,000.
You know what? You know what?
1,000.
You hit that on the
This
You're the blueprint.
podcast,
That's it.
bussin'
the
bussin'.
black woman moves culture.
Yes, the world does not move
Period.
without us. Yeah.
Period. Because like let's take low hanging fruit, right? The music industry, right? If you can make the black woman feel what you're saying musically,
It's over with.
it's over.
FRE. Sorry.
But that's no tricky,
That's it.
especially for you, Josh.
That
Because
is.
you said I'm ready, Josh. You said I'm ready. But you can't be fuck nigga free.
Yeah. I think you can.
Wait, he be a fuck nigga today.
Wait, we're gonna get into that. Wait, Cole, we gonna get into that. I'm sorry. Go ahead and close this out, Damo.
No. And it was about like what you were talking about, like with safety and like why that's important and all that. And the follow-up question, like that I wanted to close it out with is like what does that look like in a genuine relationship? What does safety look like in a genuine relationship? So you talked about reciprocity. Damn, that was a big government where I don't even know if I said it right. You talked about vulnerability.
Reparations?
And so just for context, I've been married.
Diversity and
I've been married for 10 years next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And like, quite frankly, there's situations where I operated where my head was not operating on best intent in what my wife was thinking. And you said, hey, if you pour your cup into a black woman, they give you everything. And I had to, one day it just clicked.
Yeah.
Just one day.
And I have 3 daughters too.
Why did it click?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I don't even we just had a conversation one day and I went back and told her, I was like, I get it. I'm cool. I said, I'll fill your cup up.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but like I get the analogy now.
Yeah.
And it took me 10 years to realize that shit.
No, that's cool.
And I'm glad it happened because for a lot of people it never happens.
No, you get divorced.
Or you don't even find the person.
Or you just don't find it. Yeah.
You don't find the person.
You don't find it.
Yeah.
So, let's get to the fun, Cole. Yeah, so let's talk about
niggas. Is that what you want to say?
No, we
not directly that, but I'm just saying like
you can't be singing "fuck nigga free," but
like we don't need to go that far. I mean, that's like an extreme.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, let's keep it.
Sometimes you get introspective Cole, and then you get that Cole that just be wild.
I turned him up with
just
I started
singing
hot. My bad.
But I was gonna say, as far as like the dating scene out here in Denver, like what's that looking like as far as
it's not looking.
Denver guys?
It's not looking.
It's not looking at all.
It's not. I mean, we can ask them where they at. First of all,
where they at?
Let's ask them.
Where they at?
They're gonna be at the Jazz Festival tomorrow.
Are you plugging the Jazz Festival?
I am.
Yes, we low key are. Really,
no, it's
Harris,
very high key.
Norm, we are.
Juneteenth Music Festival or Mile High Festivals. Go check it out. It'll be too late when this drops, but they'll be there.
So you be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no,
Dating.
tell us more about that. Like, let's dive deeper of like the dating scene out here.
When I moved here, I was in a long-term relationship. We had been together for almost 10 years, right? So I met him when I was in college.
Also long distance.
Long distance for the entire relationship. And so when that ended and I kind of got thrusted back into singledom, I was like, wait, this is it?
But what you offers? But so when did you get into a relationship? At what year?
You just said in college.
2008.
Okay, so was you bringing 2008 rules into 2020?
Wait a minute, sir.
That's funny.
No.
That was good.
Like we gotta get some
what
context.
we talking about?
That was good.
In terms of how difficult it, because shit moving a little quicker right now.
Wait.
2018 is like swiping.
He's swiping right.
It's like Tinder was very popping then.
Okay. In 2008.
So I was 2000. So my relationship started in 2008. It ended in 2018.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So in 2018, I was like, oh, I got to get Tinder because that's what the people have.
Right.
Swiping. It feels so superficial, and it's also dating apps are not. Most of them are not created for Black people. Except for
tell us more though.
The ones like Black that are literally for Black people, but those just got created like in the last couple of years.
Well, no, so you were too early for or too late for Black Planet.
Oh no, I had all the GIFs on Black Planet.
No, you didn't.
I absolutely did.
No, you did.
Yeah.
You were like
I had
13.
all the and I was still there.
You had to type in.
I was still there.
So you knew how to type in the JavaScript.
My name was Baby Fat Cutie 07. Don't come for me. Do not come for me. That was my name.
That's when we was forced into tech, man. We was learning all kind of HTML mail. You know what I mean?
No, for real. I was on the dial-up waiting for it to.
The modem. Like,
Hey, I love it. I apologize. That was great.
No, so my first ever platform was Black Planet.
Were you on MySpace also?
And in MySpace, I had a top 8.
All right,
you know, and I got Facebook before it was like you had to have a .edu address.
Right.
Like way back in the
day. Yeah, you was on it.
Who was in your top 8? Name it.
Right now, my
number
top
1.
8?
No.
She don't remember.
My number
back
1?
Then, back
oh,
then,
it was my
1.
best friend, Brittany Douglas, and she's still my number 1.
Shout out Brittany. Shout out Brittany.
Yeah.
You know what reminds me of Black Planet? Every time I hear that, we got a friend, a mutual friend, Herman White. Do you know him? I'm going to shout you out, Herman. But
hey, Herman.
He always had his page. And so this is a football player, linebacker, about 245.
Nah.
Well, I mean, he's a big dude.
Big dude, yeah.
You be hating it.
No, Herman used to always talked about he wanted to get bigger. He wasn't like
He went 245?
He may have been.
Okay, either way. Big dude, football guy. On his Black Planet page, it was like, I'm a tender guy. I'm a teddy bear. He had his like football gear and his picture, and it's like it always reminded me of that.
I'm a tender guy.
He was a tender guy.
He light skinned too.
Yeah, I was burning CDs back in the Black Planet days and selling them.
Fam, tell me about it.
LimeWire.
Yeah,
I did that.
LimeWire.
Come on, what
like
are we talking about?
selling CDs for $5.
There we go.
I've been a hustler.
So dating scene. You're now single.
And proud.
And proud to be single.
Are you ready to mingle?
I'm ready to mingle. Yes, wherever he is.
So what what are you looking for as far as the dating scene?
No, you know what? What's your love language?
My love language is words of affirmation.
Oh, I was about to say I'll mow your lawn.
And like buying flowers is a love language for me because I love me some flowers.
Yeah. You want to be attended to?
Yeah, I think I'm looking for, my granny always says it's unrealistic, but I'm looking for the male version of myself.
There you go.
So someone who's, determined, funny, can dress, driven, loves their family. So literally just me, but like the male version.
I think I was there, but I don't know how to dress. So.
Oh,
you got your hoochie got your starters on.
Yeah,
so
I got my starters on. Yeah, and I'm married, so it doesn't count.
I like them. You like that polka dot with the horizontal stripes?
I and black and white is like my thing. So
I
mess with the socks and the Vans for
There we
sure.
go.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about this then. So as far as your fashion, because I think, well, not necessarily fashion, but all the dope things that you do, I think the best thing to call out is kind of how you've curated this community online or in social media as far as popping things in Denver. Like, I think when it comes to figuring out what the scene is, you're definitely one of those influencers that knows what's happening. So I know you have Black AF things to do in Denver, and then you also have another, is that it?
I think that might be
Okay.
I think that might be it.
No, I was thinking of something else, but tell us, like, what made you want to kind of curate that community online?
It's interesting because it's been a year since I started doing that, which is wild. But last June, I was writing an article about Norman Harris for Cherokee Lifestyle for Juneteenth.
Yep.
And I was like, I just feel like there's so much happening in Black spaces, but like not everybody knows that they're happening.
Yeah.
And Instagram has this dope feature where they have guides. And I was like, just put it all in one little list. And I just started doing it every month. And then it's crazy because like I said, I'll get visions of stuff. I think it's God like saying this is to be in your purpose. This is what you need to do.
Get that inspiration.
And so I just started doing them. And literally people now will message me like, hey, where the guide at? And I'm like, whoa. And I'll have people, like I have friends from college who don't live here, who have friends who live here.
That's dope.
And they'll be like, Joce, people are posting your guides and they don't even know you. Or know that it's you doing it. And I'm like, that's my purpose. It's
so you're like a prophet.
A
Black person prophet.
Say that.
And she is because
you're a Black person prophet.
Man, so my homegirl.
She's just a prophet.
So my homegirl Sam, homegirl Sam, who lives in New Orleans, who is Jay's cousin. Right?
Shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam.
Wait, what's Sam's last name?
Sandra Salisbury, but she's married now.
No, I know Sam.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I was like, wait.
So look.
Go ahead.
So this is the impetus to us getting involved in the
words.
Impetus. Yeah,
it's the
I like that.
impetus.
Said it wrong.
See?
No, that's right.
So how do you say it?
Oh Lord.
No, impetus is right.
Impetus.
But you're good, man. We got you.
So she hit me up, right, and put me on to the block party.
Get out.
Get out. So this shows how much of a boss you are.
Come on.
Because my dog Sam hit me, who lives in New Orleans. She doesn't even live in Denver.
Right.
Hit me up about the block party. So I said, you know what? My other dog, who's a boss, who's running shit at the Clayton.
Yeah.
Hit up Michelle.
Let's
Michelle was
go.
like, let me hit you up with another boss, Josh, and then boom.
Let's go.
All because
out.
you are an influencer.
This podcast.
And that whole line of communication came from somebody that's outside of Colorado.
Right.
So
That's
what you're doing,
wow.
you're doing good work, Josh.
Thank you.
Right.
And I think I don't ever think about it. Like, I'm always thinking about, okay, what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to say about that. It's like, when you're in a position of influence, like yourself, when you're in a position of influence like yourself, as you know, in your world, like your professional world, right?
Oh yes.
And me, I am too. To me, I look at it's like our duty to extend the olive branch.
Absolutely.
And like, there's this world that we used to live in where it's like crabs in a bucket, right? And fuck that place, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to extend olive branches and like
Absolutely.
build community and build up.
Yes.
Versus like let the crabs pull you down.
For sure. And
And
I think
that's important to me.
yeah, and I think like even with the block party, I had people asking me like, why you didn't charge them? And I was like, why would I do that?
Why?
I'm not trying to get a profit off of my people. Not like that. Like, of course I love a coin.
Yeah.
But
No, I hear you.
I'm like, when God gave me the vision didn't include me charging a fee. And so I was like, I got to honor what God gave me. And it was have a space for these folks to show up and show their talents and sell their products. And that's just what I did. And I feel like that with so many things where I'm like, just do what God is telling you to do. And then everything else will shift.
Like you're I don't even have words right now. Like,
That is
no, like I'm
man. Go ahead. No, for real, that is super dope. Like, we're gonna shoot you your flowers for like 3 hours.
Oh.
But you know, to Damo's point, is that you mentioned earlier that other people are posting the things that you put online, and that's when you know you have that influence, right? When people are like looking for it, like they're saying, "Hey, where's our guide?" Because you know it's that time, and that's what that's what we want to do with this podcast. Is like, if we miss a week, we want the people to be like, "Yo, where's my pod? Where y'all at?" Like, we didn't say y'all could take off,
I
but
think it's happening. I think you might not know that it's happening, but I think it's happening.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Because I didn't like, I was doing, like I said, I've been doing the guides for a year. It wasn't until the beginning of this year where I was like people started sending me messages about stuff, right?
Right.
And it's funny because like people will be like, you know, don't leave Denver because you're getting this notoriety and like you should stay here and like keep building. And I'm like, I'm done with you, Jay. But also I feel like I've done what I needed to do. Like I feel like God is like
moving you.
Well done. Like it's time for your next. And like I said, everything that's happened to me in Denver, I think prepared me for what is next. And I'm so grateful.
And it's funny because earlier you said you've kind of, through your experiences, just added another layer to you, right? It's just like a cake. Like,
and therapy also helped with that. Let me just say.
Can you talk a about
Let's
how
talk about therapy.
Absolutely.
Therapy. Yeah. So I started therapy in 2020, ironically. So I actually wrote an article in 5280 about it because I was watching I May Destroy You. I don't know if y'all watch Michaela Cole's I Made It Sure You on HBO.
Yes.
You should go watch it.
Yes, Chick from London.
It is probably one of the dopest.
Yeah, Chick from London.
It's one of the dopest shows ever.
So explain. That's the one where she had been
sexually assaulted.
Or sexually assaulted.
So
yes, I have
in watching her, I realized I had been, or like this awakening that I had been sexually assaulted, and it was a trauma that I literally had buried, like
under the rug.
Completely. Never thought about it. And when I saw it happening to her, I was like, literally, it was like a flood.
So you had the same experience.
Not the same experience, but I had a sexual assault happen to me.
And you thought it wasn't.
And I thought it wasn't. And I was like, oh crap, it was. And then and I had buried even the memory of it, like completely.
It's gotta be traumatizing.
It was I was bawling. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably go to therapy. I should probably, and that was, I think that was the breaking point, but it was also like these generational traumas and like this ancestral trauma that I was feeling in 2020 of like, you need to get some help. Like you can't keep doing this by yourself. You can't keep smoking. You can't keep drinking.
So if you don't mind, can we dive into that a little bit of like, why do you think those kind of things are suppressed for Black women, or as far as when it comes to, you know, these sexual assault experiences that you might plug in your head like, no, that wasn't sexual assault, or you might just question it.
Black people.
To where
Black people,
it's
yes,
Black people.
It's Black people for sure.
But I want to focus on sexual
Black
assault.
women.
Yeah, just
sexual assault for Black people.
But I'm talking about her experience as a woman.
Yeah, I think when you have a traumatic experience, your response is just to forget that it happened, because dealing with it that's too much work.
And that's the first defense mechanism.
I don't want to do that work. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I remember now thinking about every detail that happened that night. But up until I watched that show, I had completely forgotten that it happened. Like completely.
Damn.
Got it.
Right. So like when I watched it and I'm like, it was like a light bulb went off, and then my heart kind of opened of like, you need to fix this, because I don't know what else I was kind of projecting or not facing because of that one trauma. And then what else was I not addressing, period? You know what I mean? And a lot of the stuff, like even with, you know, family stuff and, you know, because nobody in my family has ever gone to therapy. No one. I'm the first person in my family to go to therapy.
And I think that's the case for a lot of Black people.
And I think as millennials too, we're the first to do a lot of things, right?
I agree.
But there's so much pressure in being the first. Like, there's so much pressure in being the first. And I remember.
So when you shared your experiences and you would say, hey, I'm going to therapy, would you kind of
Why you doing that?
Oh, my granny was like, you don't need therapy. We got Jesus.
Yeah, we got Jesus.
And I was like, Granny, Jesus sent me to therapy.
Got it.
What did she say?
She was like, not my Jesus.
Not my Jesus.
Those wheels was grinding. Those wheels of her brain was grinding.
Now she's trying to get my therapist to be her therapist. Because I talk about it. Now that I've been in therapy for 2.5 years, that's all I talk about with everybody. Because I'm like, I don't know how I was doing life without therapy.
Right.
And I don't know that we will ever get reparations, but I think reparations should include therapy for Black people.
Hey. So I started therapy, and I talked about it in a previous show. I'm sorry. I talked about it in a previous show, and it's like when you're talking to your therapist, you're like, what? You realize things you don't even know.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just give a quick example. They have you draw out like your family tree and how everything is connected. Married, not married. Dead, not dead. And they're all like these figurines like on a Google template. I was like, damn, it shook me.
Yeah.
I was shook.
So I got to ask though, for the two of you, like how did you build the trust? Because I think that would be, for me personally.
With the therapist?
Yeah, because I would think I would go in there and I would be
it was
like.
immediate.
Yeah.
So and you just open mind and went in there and said, hey, I'm going to trust this person?
I made sure she was a Black woman.
And I got a Black woman.
Because I wanted to not have to explain pieces of myself.
Damn it. Hey, I'm telling you, her last name should be right.
Amy wants to be nurtured, though, man.
No.
Guys
Well, real quick, because I don't do therapy, but I want to. Yeah. I want to experience it.
We gonna get you with therapy.
And the thing is that I was talking to somebody else that hasn't had therapy, and it was like, how do you build that trust, right? How do I pick the therapist, and then after I pick that person, how do they relate to my experiences, and then how can I go in there, What's the conversation in the first session?
Sure.
Like, am I going to give it up
whatever
to
you
you
want
and
it
things
to
like
be.
that?
They're trained to ask powerful questions.
Absolutely.
And so,
she be tripping.
What I would say, and Josh,
she be making you think of things like,
I be like, nigga,
where you going with
how
this?
do we?
I'm like Tony Soprano was really.
And I be calling her nigga. Like I want to be able to do that.
Like I'm trying to be amicable about this, and you just making me just.
But honestly, watching the Sopranos, his therapist really pushed him. So when Damien says, yo, my therapist is asking me powerful questions, they're asking them questions that want to make you want to get out that chair. Like, bitch.
I like how you went to the Sopranos. That's dope.
Go ahead. So she asked powerful. So I chose a black woman for a reason, which is I don't need to build the foundations. Like, I don't want to build like 4 sessions on who am I as a person.
Why couldn't you get that from a black man?
No, because he's too much like me. Too much like me.
So for you, it had to be different.
So with that
connected
said,
but different.
Yeah. But so with that said, so what made you pick a black woman?
Because I just.
Was it the likeness?
It was absolutely the likeness.
Okay, so you're different from Damo.
Yeah,
just a little bit, but I see what he's saying, because I think, I remember the first meeting and I was so nervous. I was like, what's she gonna ask me, and like, what do I want to share? And I'm an open book though, so I was just like, girl, and I just told my whole life in like the 1 hour. But she also asked me questions that really pushed me, and I think what I value most about therapy is she's able to connect things that I would never connect. Because I'm like, 90% of my traumas and how I show up and things that upset me, like when Curtis cut me off in the Zoom meeting, it's because when I was in the 8th grade, LaQuisha did the same thing. So
that's funny.
Zoom wasn't even there.
Zoom wasn't even there then, but like he was giving LaQuisha, and like I didn't like it.
I got you. Well, so let me ask you: does it get racy for you too? And when I say racy, are you like identifying with your therapist when you talk about black experiences? Like, are you bringing those things up, or is that kind of implied?
I bring up, there's not anything I don't bring up with her.
Yeah. That's dope. Okay.
Like literally stuff I have never said out loud, I'll say to her.
Nice.
Yes. And I'll tell you, the thing that shook me was mortality. In my family, mortality, it fucking shook me.
That shook you?
Yes.
Tell us about what you mean, though. I understand what mortality means.
Looking at my bloodline and
life expectancy.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Fucked me up.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. Like when you
never look at it like that.
No, like because somebody dies and you're like, damn, my grandmother died. Damn, like damn.
And when you say that, it's just like, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, but grandmothers pass because the idea is that they're older.
Yeah,
is going to happen, but you're just saying you look deeper into that and was like, yo, this is maybe the cause.
Yes, and then fragmented relationships is another thing.
Okay,
in the community.
Explain that. It's fragmented.
So fragmented. So
like, not interviewing you, but
I know this is great, dude. Like real talk. So what's so interesting is, there's like, and I'm gonna be kind of wordy on this one. When you do the exercise, a male is a square.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you get everything off, okay?
Yeah, that sounds kind of weird.
Pause, because I want you to let me get everything off.
So a male is a square, a female is a circle, and if a relationship is broken, and let's say they have a kid, she draws a line through it, and you see all the fragmented relationships across the black community that you wonder why. Like, why does this happen? And it happened in my life. So, you look back at my dad, in his life with his kids, dude was a Rolling Stone. And then you have me and my kids. I'm like, look, I need to be a better dad. But I did something similar to him. It was just cut in half. He had 6 kids. I have 3. And you see what I'm saying?
It kind of just trickles down and you see a pattern.
You see a pattern. And you don't see this if you talk about it. And it's messed up, man.
That's why we need to do. So what he's talking about is a genogram. So we need to start doing genograms of our family.
So I want to know, Ko, and you haven't talked about it. Would you ever go to therapy?
Man, I would.
Have you? Well, has it ever sparked your interest?
Man, like I need to go. I just haven't pulled the trigger.
Yeah, Sondermind.com.
Yeah, I got that good insurance. So I
got really good insurance.
No, I know you do.
Tell them where you work at. Since we going there.
No, I'm saying you got that good insurance.
I got that good insurance.
Like,
I make 6 figures since I was 25.
Let's go.
Damo.
Let's go. I got a Tesla.
You got a Tessie?
Yeah, it's named T'Challa.
I'm sorry, what?
A Tessie?
Black Panther, named after T'Challa, the superhero. That's the name of his car.
T'Challa.
T'Challa, what I say? T'Challa.
I thought you was saying like a nigga name. Like
T'Challa?
T'Challa? I was like,
T'Challa? Okay.
I do.
That's French.
That has
you put the CH together.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I got that French background.
I mean, I got that good insurance. I got that Cobra plan.
Cobra ain't good.
That means you got laid off, buddy.
Off.
Josh, back to you. So, we talked about you curating the black community, especially for Denver online, all the dope things you do at the block party, and just how much you're involved with that. I think as we were talking about layers, then we got into therapy, bringing it back a little bit. Now, you said each city you go in, you kind of layer up, right? You learn something new culture adds to the flavor of Joss. Unfortunately, now you're leaving us. And tell us where you're going.
Do we have to talk about that? Why do we have to talk about that?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because you're open book.
This is you. This is all about you.
Because y'all gonna make me cry.
This is part of your story.
Please let it go.
Please. It'll be great content.
I shouldn't have put no lashes on once again.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm moving to New York.
And why in the house? What part of New York?
Brooklyn, baby.
And why'd you choose Brooklyn?
It just feels like me. It feels like soulful and fashionable and black.
There we go.
And they have like Doberman pictures and like bike lanes in Brooklyn now.
I feel like that's Denver. Low key.
It is.
That's exactly.
High key.
No, that's how it goes. That's when you know your neighborhood's changing. They put the bike lane in first.
Yeah, well, you get a yoga studio.
Yeah. Because a
juice bar.
It happened for me and Co. We park Hillians to the day we die. And
yes.
On MLK, they started building that bike lane. We were like, yo, what's going on?
Not MLK.
Yes.
This used to be 3 lanes.
What's the first thing on the to-do list as soon as you land?
Breathe.
Okay.
I feel like.
What does that mean?
As much as I feel like I've given so much of myself to Denver that I think it's going to be refreshing to not be needed and to not have to give anything.
Got it. I get that.
For just a minute. Because it's just like, I remember after the block party, literally at the block party, people were like, when is the next one?
Keep going.
No.
And I was like,
it flipped over. See, you messing up the vibe, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. But at the block party, people were asking when the next one was going to be. And I was like, yo, can I chill for a second? And then I did like a different role day party at the Culture Museum, like 2 weeks after the block party.
Got it.
Which was also very dope. Like, we all showed up in our different world gear. I was Willie Gilbert, of course.
Nice.
And it was just nice. But I think I've been going like fast. Like,
you've been doing a lot
since February.
You haven't had a chance to breathe. You've been swimming,
literally
going
like,
deep.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel.
And that's just what people see, right? That's what I post.
No, I get it.
People aren't seeing my I call it my big job, right? So we just moved into a new $1 billion building where I'm getting funding for that, and I'm like getting art for the space. Nobody's seeing that because I don't really share that part of myself.
Absolutely.
So, but every part of my life is like, I'm needed for something. And I think when I move, I'm hoping that at least the first month is just like let her chill.
Let her chill a little bit.
Let her breathe.
How can we hold you up?
Help me find an apartment, Lord Jesus.
He likes to block. That's what he did for a living. He's a blocker.
Yeah. I think prayer and just, keeping me in your thoughts. Because I know that who I am is so much bigger than me. So this next chapter is just... Denver was never part of my plan, literally.
Well, we glad you stopped through.
But it has been the biggest blessing I could have ever imagined, like literally. And I think moving here showed me that who I am is bigger than me, right? Wow. And so I'm like extremely grateful for this city.
So where do you find your confidence? Sorry, like where does that come? Like where do you?
I don't know.
You just said your mama.
Well, yes, but I don't see myself as confident. I'm just showing up.
Yeah, but showing up is confident. Showing up is confident. So for example, you moved a lot culturally in a state that you're not from. You're not a native here, but you've done a lot of things to push culture forward. So where do you find the confidence to do that, especially now that you're moving into the mecca of culture in New York City? Like, where do you find that at? Like, how do you, like, it's not easy to network and go out and meet people and show up and actually create things like a black woman social group.
The Black Girl Social Club.
The Black Girl Social
Pacific,
Club.
like the ocean.
Pacific.
Yes.
Yeah. So where do you find that confidence?
I would say it's Godfidence. It's God, aligning me with my purpose. Like to me, it's not something it's just what I'm supposed to do. Like,
you just feel it in your bones.
I just feel it in my bones. Like,
I'm with you.
You're supposed to do this thing, so just do it. Like, period. That's it.
So real.
That is. You up here spitting gems, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, she tries.
So if there's one thing about Damo, it's like I always got a question behind a question. But like you're like answering, I'm like, I get it.
You get it?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I think too because I'm a writer, so like my brain just like processes things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I'm a creative too, so like in the vision. So like even as y'all talking, I'm seeing different words as you're talking.
Dive a little bit deeper, putting the story together.
Everything is a story to me. Like even when I like go to a grocery store and I'm like the Trader Joe's guy, I'm like, damn, what's his story?
So these chicken thighs are kind of meaty.
So speaking of that, I saw real quick.
No,
this is a switch the subject, but did y'all check Cat Williams' stand up?
He got another one?
I didn't see it.
It was funny.
I thought he was in jail. No,
he's been out, but he was talking about chicken thighs. He was talking about the shortage of chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, there was a shortage on chicken wings, but there wasn't a shortage of chickens." And he was like, "Yeah, Wingstop changed its name to Chicken Thighs." But anyway,
I need to watch that. That's my wheelhouse.
It's funny.
I love Cat.
It's a different cat. He's more tamed on this one, I would say, but it's still funny. It's
good. So what would you write about us?
Oh Lord.
What's your story about this.podcast?
I think because the thing that resonates with me the most is this.podcast protects Black women.
And lifts them up.
Podcast, bussin'.
And keeps them there.
This podcast, bussin'.
I love it. So does that mean you're going to do a story on this before you leave?
No, she got 2 weeks. She's out.
She's like,
y'all too late.
That's a little bit too much.
Yeah, I just wrote my last story for 5280, actually about Derek Hodge. I don't know if y'all know Derek Hodge.
That sounds familiar.
He's an amazing, I don't even know how to describe him, composer, arranger. He arranged most of the music for the Grammys, the Oscars. Oh, wow. He's doing the Juneteenth celebration at the Hollywood.
And he's based
Bowl.
out of here.
He's based here. He's not from here, but he's based in Denver.
Got it.
So my last story for 5280 was about him, which was dope because it was like, again, I love writing about Black people.
Yeah.
And it's also like in the same spread, they're talking about Juneteenth and like vibes in the park and like all these things that I've poured myself into. So it just feels like a good legacy to leave.
Shout out to Vibes. They got a nice photo of you on Vibes in the Park.
Who's your backfield? Who do we need to talk to?
My back. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, keep the guides going?
Yeah.
You know, so I've been thinking about that. I think I'm going to continue to do them because technically it's my intellectual property. And so I don't want to
don't give
that up.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's working on actually getting some funding for it because right now I'm just doing it because I love to do it.
Yeah.
But we're working on getting some funding for it so we can pay
So
the
speaking
girl.
of that, I got a bone to pick because you knew you was coming on this.podcast, and I think you posted a guide maybe
here he go
beginning of the week or I don't know, but you didn't put. You were like, "Yo, dope things that are black AF to do in Denver," and you was supposed to be like, "Yo, stop by to this.podcast." That was just like the perfect.
Well, if we're gonna pick bones, it wasn't posted for me to add to the guide.
Ooh.
So don't come for me unless I send for you.
See.
Don't come for me unless I send for you.
Hey, yo, but let me ask you this.
Let me go to the bathroom.
I'm like, for real, go to the bathroom?
I was about to say, damn, we finna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Josh. So, being that you're here for 2 more weeks.
It's like 3, but yeah.
3 more weeks. Who would you have write your story?
Oh, no, that's fire.
Oh,
that's
come on.
Man, what are we talking about?
Well, it gotta be us. This is part of the story. We're not writing, but we giving you the visual.
For sure. I think it's also difficult. I think because one of the reasons I have felt the need to keep going is because there's not a lot of black writers in Denver. And so there's a lot of weight on me to like tell those stories and like keep us highlighted. And I don't know the answer to that. So now I got to go home and think about it.
Think about it. You gotta think about it.
Honestly, what would be amazing is if the community wrote the story about me.
That would be.
You get what I'm saying?
Marissa.
Yeah. That would be Marissa. No, absolutely.
Or like all of my loves from the block party.
Hey,
all of them.
Hey, no, they'd be missing periods and commas.
Oh, Lord.
And semicolons.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
There you
great.
go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You draw
That's
through
dope.
art. Yeah.
Well, we're showing you love, so this isn't the writing, but it's definitely a story
and I am so
about you.
appreciative.
So no, we are, because you did not have to stop and do this. So
I did.
So I'm gonna let Damo ask his question.
Yeah. We always ask this question at the end of the show. We hope you had a great time.
She did.
Third person.
Third person.
I flex on him. Flex on him.
It's like it's weird how we're awkwardly the same.
You're not as dope though.
My twin
No,
flame.
I'm far from.
Yes, you are.
really far from it.
Far from as dope as shit.
Like
you
this
are.
is Earth. You're like Uranus or Pluto. It's not even a planet no more. That's how far you are.
No,
You're not even in the
I'm a
solar
pebble in the
system,
sand.
fam.
I'm a pebble
you're
in the
not even
sand.
in the solar system.
How you deal with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, real talk. I hope you had a great time. We have so much respect for you coming through, hanging out with us, showing us love. We show you love, and it was reciprocated. You said that word earlier, reciprocity. Who would you have on? Who would you recommend to have on the show?
How many people can I say?
You can say as many as you want,
Okay.
or
Shout 'em out.
Or when we release it, you can tag them.
Oh, I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
Okay. So I would say one is sitting here tonight. Shakira. S. Monet, the dopest
There we go.
artist in the city.
There we go.
I
Although
would,
she stood us up. Yeah, absolutely.
I was trying to, friend. I was
we
trying to keep
forget.
talking, but he was going.
As you can tell, we forget.
In.
We don't hold it against you.
Trauma.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's
like
coming.
we get shut down.
It's coming. I would also say Blake Jackson, the dopest photographer in the city.
Whoa.
Okay.
He's amazing. He has so much like.
Is that who does your photo shoots?
No, low key. People be thinking my phone, like it be my phone, and me just telling my friends, hold the phone right here and do this.
Oh,
She left you hanging.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
No,
I didn't know what was happening. My bad. I would also say the Vibes in the Park, ladies,
Yes.
because they're fire.
They are.
That's technically 5 people. Who else? Esther Lee Leach from the Clayton. She is.
I don't think we got a chance to meet her.
She's the director of memberships at the Clayton, and she's an amazing black woman. She also runs Cherry Creek Fashion Magazine.
Wow.
Okay.
There we go.
Esther is the reason that I get to take up so much space at the Clayton.
Anybody named Esther,
for real.
I'm shaking their hand.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah. When I heard Esther, I was like, "Bong, let's get her."
No, and she's like, is Esther Jamaican, British? She's a lot of things.
Oh, she has an accent.
She has an accent.
Oh, we definitely.
And she's literally like a model.
I'm a sucker for accents.
Oh, she is.
So she literally you see her and you're like, she's like a goddess. Oh. So we need the goddess on this podcast.
Let's do it.
Okay, that's it. That's all the people I'm gonna name.
And then you could tag the rest.
I'm gonna tag everybody. Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, we are sad that you are leaving us, but
I'm always hearing your heart.
You are. You've done a lot for the city. You're awesome. You fashionista, artist. I'm gonna call you an artist.
Let's go.
Writer. Mm-hmm. You got a 9 to 5. It ain't Renaissance. That sums it up. Like you've been doing your thing, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Shout out to Joce Blake.
Shout out to this.podcast.
Show some love for some big and tall short shorts.
Hoochie Daddy.
Hoochie Daddy season is in effect, and you never stumble upon the unexpected if you stick to the familiar. So
let's go.
Go out there and do everything.
For real.
We out.